Hey everyone, it's Naomi Sneakus, and welcome to the Firecracker Department Aftershow. One of my favorite things to do because I get to hang out with some of the core gals from the Firecracker Department, and we talk about past episodes and what kind of stuck with them, what hit their heart, all those things. We've got Emily in Los Angeles, Emily Churchill, who's part of our Firecracker Wellness Department. We've got AJ Edmonds, who's in Canada, who does content creation for Firecracker Department. And then we've got Sarah Beaudin, who happens to be right now in Costa Rica, and she's in charge of all the creative management and creative untangling of the Firecracker Department and so much more. And today we are talking about Erin Karpluk, who I adore. You'll know her from being Erica, of course, from Holly Hobby, from Slasher, from Rookie Blue. She's just an amazing, she's a chameleon. She can do so many different characters, and she does it with such heart and such craft, and I'm just a fan. What resonated for you, gals? What resonated from my discussion with Erin?
The thing that really got me was I loved how you guys were talking about the spirituality of the times, because I do feel that has been in people's daily lives more than it ever has been, because we have to come together now and help each other. And so I just love talking about that and how she said she has to stick to her routine. But I have to admit, when she said put on my jeans every day, I was like, oh, I don't know if I can fit into my jeans. I'm a little nervous. But it's so important. It's so important. Yeah.
You know what someone said to me today, Emily? We were talking about having to wear jeans. She goes, I don't know what these other ladies are thinking. My jeans, the buttons are all social distancing. And listen, everyone has different degrees of taking this seriously, and that lady, right down to her buttons.
But even Erin, when we started the conversation, was like, I'm so looking forward to this because I painted my nails for this. Like, I got ready. Like, what is your thing that helps you get into the day in this odd time of quarantine? What do you think, Sarah?
I loved how she does vision boards, and how she just because she gets to one level doesn't mean she's going to stop there. She's like, how can I continue to improve or to keep checking in with myself? That's what I subscribed to, and I was like, okay, I love this energy and I'm into it. And I love that you two clearly have a cool history. I mean, you do with quite a few of the folks that you chat with, but I loved seeing your sort of like friendship.
I mean, she's also one of those gals that she's an easy friend too, like when the first time I met her, I was like, oh, we're buddies. Like, she's so delightful. And I think you're right. Like, somebody like Erin, for me, she works consistently. I'm sure she gets offers all the time, and she doesn't need necessarily to pursue inner growth, but she does. She does the vision board. She does keep thinking about what else. What else for you?
To build off that, even the way she talks, I felt like we were friends. She's just got such an open way of speaking, and that just no air of ego at all. And I also, anyone that takes the time to get to know the crew members on a set, we just don't talk about it enough, as far as I'm concerned, in how it takes an entire group of people to put an actor on a screen. And when someone, when anyone takes the time to get to know everybody's name, I always hold my producers to the standard that you need to know absolutely everyone that's standing on your set. I think it's lovely when an actor puts that effort in too. The other thing she talked about that made me laugh, because it's so true for me, is you're so efficient when it's something you love. Learning lines and do it with your eyes closed, completely finished. Doing taxes, you can look at them. There isn't a better time to be knocking off, all those ugly to-dos. Sorry, Emily, I don't know if this is for you, but I can learn a script in half a day and I'm set. And I remember when I was a kid, my mom was shocked because I got called up I was the understudy for Dorothy when I was 15. And they called me and said, Dorothy's sick. And I went, I'm on it. And the whole day, I learned the whole script in a day. And then Dorothy woke up and she was fine to be on scene. Had a cold, whatever, Dorothy. Anyways, but I couldn't remember my math homework to save my life. So there's always this sort of we're so efficient when it's this is what I have to get
and
done.
When you care about stuff. I mean, gosh, look at all the work we're doing for Firecracker Department. The only reason is because we care. You can't work this hard unless you're getting paid a whack of money, which
I am.
Are you? How did that work out? How did I start it? But you are, I mean, good for you. Good for you. You figured out how to do it.
That's why you're out there chopping wood and,
Yeah.
like
That's
making sure
it.
your power doesn't go out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
All that
I
money.
chose this life to appear humble.
Good job. You're doing it.
Right.
Emily, other thoughts?
I really delved into when you all were talking about moving to LA, and for anyone who's not even in LA, but to know, driving in, you're like, oh man, I'm gonna take this city down, and maybe even a couple weeks later, you're like, oh, okay, woo, not at all. And I think she said, I've been here 10 years and it's finally home. Yeah, it took me several years because I was still like, Chicago's my home, and I was like, oh no, it took a while. And I don't think people realize that. I think people see, stars or whatnot, and they're like, oh, they just rolled in and got it, which some people do, which is great. But a lot of us are like, oh God, is it still going? We're going to be fine. But yeah, it was really great to hear that I wasn't the only one that thinks that way.
These discussions, I feel like they should be called I'm not the only one or something, because
Yes.
there's something in every discussion that you're like, oh, you too? Like, it's so satisfying to hear. Like,
that's what makes
like
this
her.
so authentic, though, is
Yeah.
that the conversations you have are not about the successes that someone is sitting in. Like, I watched Being Erica in high school. Of course I know who Erin is. But as she was talking, I didn't even strike me that I knew who she was on screen until you mentioned Being Erica. And that comes from the fact that you talk to people in a way that it's their journey to the place they're sitting today. It's not the fact that they've reached an end goal or they've done something we should all admire to. It's just, they exist within it. And I think that's, it's just a beautiful way to present people working in the arts. We're all on a different journey.
Agreed. Any final thoughts about my discussion with Erin? Sarah?
Oh man. I'm trying to I'm trying to think of what else pinged my brain, but I feel like all the happy things. I mean, oh no, it's gone. It's COVID left my brain.
Totally fine. Totally fine. AJ, did you have something?
No.
Oh, I thought you put your hand up. Okay.
No, I put the empty into
all of a sudden I was like, oh, there it is. Talk about energy exchange.
Well, speaking of being Erica and being, what are you folks busy doing? Anyway, segues aren't my strength, but what are you working on these days that we can support? AJ, what's your jam?
I am currently doing a lot, actually. I thought I would be not busy, but other than working on Firecracker stuff, I'm writing scripts and just trying to stay connected with creatives as much as I can and spending as much time with my mother as the world offers me.
I love it. Sarah, what about you? What are you working on?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm kind of stoked because I've been in the same boat where I'm doing all this fun stuff with Firecracker, and then I just submitted a short film I produced with my friend. He wrote and directed it, so we just submitted that to some festivals. So getting some stuff underway and had some pitches in myself. And then with Firecracker, we have Firecracker Cares just started under the wellness department. That is Emily's big jam. And I'm so excited about that. So this charity is Game Changers, who are supporting Ava's initiatives. And we'll give you a little link there.
Perfect. What about you, Emily?
I'm actually in a podcast. That sounded very surprising. I know. It's called Fair Neck, and it's a podcast about a little Jewish town in New Jersey. I'm not Jewish, but I think I play Jewish people, but it's very fun. You guys should subscribe to that on iTunes.
Is it a fictional story?
Yes. Yeah. Fiction. Written. Yep.
And for folks, if they want to see me learn things from kids, go to our Facebook group. And every Monday at 3:00 Pacific Standard Time, I get schooled by a little kid. Last week, I learned how to draw anime. And the week before, I learned how to make slime that turned out like pieces of makeup scar that you could use, which was nice. Somebody suggested that I shouldn't throw it away, but I could use it for that because I have a lot of opportunities to create fake scars. So tune into that. And also, there's so much going on with Firecracker Department. Jump in. There's always a seat at the Firecracker table for you. Firecrackerdepartment.com is all the stuff that you need to know about, as well as our newsletter. Firecracker DEPT is finding us on Instagram and Twitter. And don't forget to listen to the podcast. Why don't you just do a little review? Just like, I like this. It's nice. It's enough. Or I don't like this. Her voice makes me want to punch myself in the face, which was a review once from me. I thank you. Thank you, anonymous person.
I like your typing skills there, Naomi.
Okay.
This
How do you guys
very
type?
grabby. A little looser in the hand.
All right.
Little
Well,
loosey.
Yeah.
no judgment. We all work differently. Thanks, everybody. This has been the After Show. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.